tell you that I don't hold your decision against you in any shape or form. It was the natural choice. Just know that there's a part of me that thinks you're a raging cretin! Secondly, I thought to inform you of several disturbing prognoses regarding my 3 test subjects. Without wanting to get too technical, retentive retention is good, but cognitive cognition is bad. And their degrading degradation is most ugly. Not unlike that film you used to talk about. Dumb and Dumber, wasn't it? I digress. The levels of aptitude between the candidates are still being tested. However, if I don't see significant improvements in the next few hours, it'll be the scrap heap for them, or we'll have defective candidates roaming the streets like deranged primates! Is it PC to call a monkey deranged? Perhaps another line of study for someone to consider once I'm done here. No matter. I think...
This is your mandatory 7:15 wake-up call. This is your mandatory 7:15 wake-up call. Sorry if we made you jump. If you have a history of heart problems, then you can take comfort in the knowledge that it won't last much longer.
Did you say something, Doc?
No, just a mandatory 7:15 wake-up call.
But, my watch says 8:15.
It would appear that the clocks have been adjusted for daylight savings. Nothing to concern yourself with.
Okie dokie. So wait, does that mean I can keep sleeping?
Technically, it means you're an hour late.
Oh, my higher power that might not exist! Amanda, wake up for the love of the higher power that might not exist!
What is it? What time is it? Is the baby coming? 6:15, is that when it's due? Shall I stop pushing?
Frank, wake up, we're late!
Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty button!
I'm sorry, don't have my face!
How long do I have to keep doing this for? I mean, can I take one of this first before...
I'm sorry I had to resort to the trumpet, but if you all fail to behave like adults, I'm really left with no other option.
Sorry.
So if you please calm down and get your bearings, I'd like to begin today's testing.
Isn't 6:15 a little early to be starting?
I'll make it 12:15.
Well, now that's really wrong.
Ooh, sorry, miss. Look at me in my shiny white lab coat of dreams.
That's not even relevant. Compliment is appreciated, nevertheless.
Well, seeing as this conversation is about as stimulating as a wood pigeon trying to anally penetrate me, I'm going to do a little bit of sculpting. Body sculpting. And what a finely toned sculpture it is.
Dr. Torenal?
Yes, Amanda.
How long are we going to be here for? I mean, am I going to be in hospital when the baby comes?
Well, Amanda, unless I can finish my final evaluations before the miniature human chooses to emerge, then I'm afraid the birth will take place in our company.
Well then, why, when I thought I was in labour, did none of you help me?
Because, Amanda, that was the 16th time in 3 days that you thought you were in labour. A little honesty would go a long way. Right, now I make it. That's not even relevant. Now, we're going to begin today's test. We're going over everything we've done so far with some cognitive expansion thrown in for good measure. So, clipboards out. I'd like for you to speculate as to the purpose of the following things. A hammer, a kettle, and a dog. You have 2 minutes. Go. With less than 24 hours before the deadline, my reluctance to allow the candidates to be admitted to live amongst the general public is only overshadowed by the fear of what my superiors will do to me once I'm done here. That feeling is overshadowed by a curious desire for salt and vinegar chips. Nevertheless, later today I'll be forced to cope with the task of revealing each candidate's purpose for existence. A blow that hopefully will be easier to deal with after this morning's wench performance. However, knowing your purpose for existence is a messy state of affairs. Worst case scenario, I have to resort to tertiary protocol. Despite all this severity, yesterday's game of Duck, Duck, Goose went off without a hitch, so you know, every cloud.
Finished! Ha! I won!
It's not a race, you meddling nutsack.
Ooh, boo-hoo, Franco. I'm sure you'll have fun in second.
Am I finished too?
Third place!
Don't you ever call me Franco again, you snivelling sack of wine. Otherwise I'll deploy my kung fu grip on your paper-thin neck, and then I'll gut you, and then I'll rip you, and...
Good girl. to start? The dog? Let's come back tomorrow when he's in a more sharing mood. Amanda?
Do dogs purely exist for the sole purpose of cleaning things up with their tongues? And if so, how much would one cost? And would it come with free stain remover and tiny extensions for those harder to reach areas?
I guess that's one possible use for them. Not enough to warrant the additional materials. Frank?
We don't need them.
Really?
Yeah, blow their airy canine keisters up. Problem solved. I mean, why should I, the pinnacle of all creation, have to resort to looking after some pampered pooch with just a fraction of my strength and intelligence?
Intelligence is often simulated by an awareness of the sanctity of life. And dogs can be fantastic companions, providing love and affection when others in your life fail to.
Well, not as much as the noble Hammer.
Excuse me?
The Hammers! Hammers! Hammez. Hammers are built to serve their masters as a logical expansion of the hand. It's cheap augmentation for all. Not that I'd ever need one, of course. I just headbutt the puny little nail straight into the wall. Bam! 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 Of course, don't get me started on those black kennels.
Okay, we won't then. Amanda the Hammer?
Would using them to stop babies from crying be out of the question?
Okay! I think that concludes this morning's proceedings.
Did I pass Dr. Torenal?
Maybe fortune will aid you next time.
But I thought you said tomorrow.
The canine, much like other organisms that inhabit this fabulous planet, makes its own destiny based on what man requires of it, whether it be serving the love of a small child or exposing drugs upon the person of some ruffian. The hammer is an implement used predominantly in construction for securing nails or shaping surfaces to build any number of things. A shopping trolley, a guillotine, metal sex toys, you name it. And of course, the kettle boils water so that water can be hotter than it was before.
Excellent work, Warren! You've earned yourself some playtime on the calculator.
Oh, you pathetic unit jelly! I wanted the calculator.
Right. So it's been a whole year since we came to this lab and began testing. We've had our share of ups and downs. The downs mainly involving the microwavable meals. However, I'm pleased to announce we've completed all the scheduled tests. All that's left now are the final evaluations, and then, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
What about that test that we didn't do last week because you were fixing the microwave?
Oh yes! We missed one, Amanda! Well done! Test 506 beta. Decipher the punchline to the following joke using an awareness of subversion and wordplay. What's black and white and red all over?
Ah, the last panda on earth, stained with the blood of its enemies.
I'd like to say you were close, but that would be a lie. Amanda?
A minstrel eating jam?
Logical. You're slightly racist. Warren, what's black and white and red all over?
Schindler's List.
Fascinating. Frank, can I see you in private?
Fine, but don't expect me to enjoy it.
Do you think it'll be a boy or a girl? Warren?
Oh, does it matter?
Don't you care at all about this baby? I mean, wouldn't a little compassion hurt every once in a while?
Probably.
You're in one of those moods again. Why can't you learn to ever stay focused?
What do you care? And enough of all the questions. Can't you see I'm trying to write boobies on this calculator?
I wonder what the father will be like. Will he be strong and inspiring? Will he be tender and caring? Will he have a beard? Will I ever get to meet him?
Yes! Woohoo! Boobies! Fantastic! I did it! No man will ever equal this feat. Oh, damn, I deleted it. Oh, yeah, you were saying something about your baby?
What does it matter? I mean, how am I supposed to know how you feel about things when your mood keeps changing so much?
Sorry, Amanda. Just a bit highly strung, you know? Why did I laugh at that? That's not a joke. Where were we? Ah, yes, boobies! No, wait, that was a minute ago.
You see what I mean? I mean, when will you ever learn to stay focused?
I don't mean it. At least, I hope I don't. I just want to help you, Amanda. I guess what I'm trying to say...
Why will this baby stop kicking? What am I to you, a kicking post?
The trusty kicking post. Now there's an object with purpose. Purpose. Purpose, wait, that's it.
What?
That's what Torenal's been building us up for. She's going to take us to one side and tell us our purposes. It's so obvious. It's so scary.
So, Frank, care to tell me about your experiences here in the lab over the last year?
Well, Doc, not only have I been forced to perform tasks which, quite frankly, insult my boundless intelligence and limitless physical capabilities, but I've been forced to perform with 3 of the most pathetic cucumbers that I've ever had the misfortune to encounter.
But Frank, we're the only pathetic cucumbers you've ever had the misfortune to encounter.
You may be right, you albino shrink, but I'll recognise a pathetic cucumber when I see one.
Frank, these one-liners, these nicknames, where do they come from?
Beautiful mouth, you syrupy pile of useless intellect.
I'm aware of how you say them, but they just seem to be groups of random thoughts merged into a meaningless clause with malicious undertones. Care to explain how you think of them?
Well, this novelty that you call life, Dr. Torenal, is a group of meaningless clauses. I mean, you're all just little ants scurrying around looking for that next little leaf, while I'm just looking at those old couple in the park and I'm biting on their picnics. And as for you, Dr. Torenal, and in answer to your poorly worded question, these things just come to me.
Good. Care to tell me about your best memory?
Best memory. The day we built the kicking post. Best 4 hours of my life.
And your worst?
The day Warren stole your trumpet.
Yes. That wasn't a particular highlight for me either.
So Doc, what's actually going to happen to us when we're on the outside? Do we meet a partner and just engage in frequent acts of rumpy, pumpy?
No, why? Why would you think that?
Just speculating and hoping. What's up, Doc? Got yourself a nice little bit of beefy British back bacon lying back home?
Mind your own business.
Touch a nerve, have I, in that insultingly shaped body of yours? What's up, Doc? Couldn't he satisfy you while you were thinking my sweet, sweet candy?
Right, that's enough.
See you around, Doc.
Amanda?
Is everything okay, Dr. Torenal?
Amanda, have you noticed that you only ever speak in questions?
Did Frank say something to upset you?
Are you that unsure of yourself?
Would you like me to have a word with him?
Are your maternal hormones clouding your judgment?
Did he call you a crusty rear end again?
Or are you still incapable of forming original thought?
Do you have a crusty rear end?
Have you ever answered a question with an answer instead of a question?
Why can't you just answer my questions with something other than a question? I mean, is it so hard to answer a simple question?
Shall I ask a question and see if you answer with an answer or a question, and then ask my next question accordingly?
Why can't you just answer my questions?
Would you like a toffee apple?
Do you have a problem with me?
Am I correct in believing that your questions are an answer to my questions and not following another line of questioning I've been ignoring this far?
Or is it babies that scare you?
Should I take that as a yes?
Should I take that as a yes?
Well, that clears that up.
Oh, okay, well, then can I go?
No, wait, Amanda. There's something I have to show you. Something that might be hard to see.
Cut that out, you deaf leopard!
Sorry, Frank. I get nervous easily.
Oh, you get everything easily. Besides, I somewhat doubt that the next 5 minutes are going to matter that much in the grand scheme of things. Unless you try to decapitate Dr. Torenal with your panty lining, or something else is equally moronic.
So you think I'll be okay?
Absolutely not. You're a pathetic excuse for a human male, and whatever's outside in the real world is probably far beyond your mental capacities.
Oh,
That's not to say that you won't be released with me and Amanda. And yet, I suspect that white-coated stick insect in there has little say in the matter. She's just as pitiful as the rest of you jiggly miscreants.
Well, as long as we stick together, we should be fine. If we've all got each other, then the sky's the limit. Whatever you choose to do, wherever you choose to go, I'll be behind you 110% of the way. Of course, that means we'd have to backtrack 10% as we overshot the mark. But that just means we get to spend more time together, so we're all winners.
On the contrary, my dear sheepskin coat maker, as soon as the front doors open for the first time, you will be so far away from me and you twitchy goblins that you won't even be able to hear my screaming war cries. I beg for more lotion, Warren, more lotion.
I reckon on the other side of that door, there's another lab just like this, with 3 other test subjects being evaluated by another doctor. Maybe we'll be able to help them in the same way that Torenal has helped us.
How do you know that what we've been taught isn't just a steaming pile of horseshoes? I mean, it's easier for a tutor to command than to teach. I mean, ultimately, we're just blank slates that one woman's written on with permanent ink. 3 victims of the Tabula Rasa.
Tabula what?
Tabula Rasa, it means blank slate. I think I read it somewhere. My point being is, the big question at the end of it all is, who are we and why are we here? Hell, the number of questions that sunny little Amanda has made over the past 365 days, you would have thought that she would have blooded that out of her pie hole.
Don't talk about her like that, Frank. She has a right to be confused by our situation.
Got yourself there a little crush there, Warren. Just as pitiful as she is.
She isn't pitiful. She's smart. She's kind. She's pitiless.
Oh, don't you bother defending that plump bag of a woman. The only thing you'll get from her is an overwhelming sense of confusion and maybe a warmth in your loins.
Well, nothing new there then.
Warren, please.
Nothing to ask me then? I'm assuming that Dr. Frankenstein in there told you more than she told me. I can also assume that she was put off by my extreme manhood and the fact that I would certainly best her in a game of tiddlywinks. If we actually had a tiddlywinks here in the first place, you know. I was telling that blunderbuss Warren
Has
over...
Torenal ever told you what a clone is?
No,
And why do you think that is?
I don't know. Can't be that important if she only told you.
Don't you think that your constant snide remarks are really just you overcompensating because you don't know what a clone is?
Amanda, it's impossible to overcompensate when you've already reached perfection.
Do you see what I mean? I mean, how can a real person be so much of a tool?
Quite easily. Don't you remember that graph that Torenal showed us with toolishness on the vertical axis and Hitler, Nick Clegg and Colin Firth on the bottom?
What was that?
Actually, that never happened. Probably just the art power that might not exist, just putting words into my mouth, I suppose. Now, Amanda, in a way which is actually as close to a statement as possible, tell me what a clone is.
You really want to know?
And your worst?
The week we learned about death.
No, Warren. Your cognitive development and information retention have been so impressive, far beyond the bounds of what I've taught you.
Thanks, I guess.
I mean, how did you know to mention Schindler's List earlier when I've never shown it to you, let alone told you its existence?
I don't know. Guess it just came to me.
Fascinating. And you have no memory of anyone or anything before you came to this place?
No, nothing. What's this, Dr. Torenal?
What's what?
It'll either be the scrap heap for them, or we'll have defective candidates roaming our streets.
Warren. Those are my private notes.
Those were notes, those were something else.
That wasn't meant for you.
What do you mean by candidates? Candidates for what?
Listen, Warren, it's really...
Who are these candidates? Just tell me!
You are.
What for?
Candidates is the term that we use
For what?
for clones.
Clones?
Replicas of humans. made for a specific purpose and catered to an individual's needs. Your appearance and personalities are based on a work-in-progress template of your original.
So the others?
Clones too.
Okay, so what is it? What is it that makes us defective? I mean, are we not just who we are?
Amanda's brain functions have been distorted beyond the capacity to form any sort of thought for herself. She blindly grasped around her to fill the void. Frank's inflated ego comes from a number of different reasons, but without constant treatment, his body will reject his true identity, and you, Warren, you could be brilliant, but your mood swings. I've tried everything from day one, but the longer time goes on, the more unhinged and potentially unstable you become.
So what you're saying is, out there in the real world, there's another Warren, and he looks just like me.
Yes.
Ah, so you're saying that there are two Amanda Joneses then?
Do you really think that's supposed to make me feel better?
It's not meant to. I mean, look on the bright side though. At least only one of you needs to look after that fetal parasite of yours.
What else is that?
I don't know.
Pieces of hate! Extreme mood swings! Extreme mood swings! I'm just a parrot, just a stupid parrot! I don't know what's worse. Knowing my exact purpose for existence, knowing that I'll never be able to fulfill that purpose, or the fact that I just piss myself. That's a standard day-to-day thing for me. I mean, I'm a person too. Sure, people wonder how much personality a man can have. His mood changes so often, but I still feel things. I feel anger towards the original me for his selfish and lazy attitude towards living. I feel sadness at a world that seemed so open to me 5 minutes ago now just seems like a narrow tunnel with a sheer drop at the end. I feel contempt regarding the pool of urine now surrounding my crotch. Maybe I am just a parrot, but at least a parrot is given the illusion of free will.
Public speaking, is that it?
Yes, I'm afraid so. His original Warren Baxter is CEO of a large software engineering firm, Unitech. For many years, Baxter was the face of the company. But due to some traumatic events in his personal life, he developed a complex form of glossophobia, a fear of public speaking. Unable to face the public, he invested serious finance in constructing an exact replica of himself, but one that wouldn't have experienced the tragedies of the original.
Couldn't you just start a speech therapist or something, or an old oriental mentor type figure?
Due to his anxieties, he just wasn't prepared to deal with it himself.
So, why is Warren taking this so hard?
Isn't it obvious? The mewling little bandersnatch can barely string a sentence together. I think we should either pull it full of LSD and laugh at the ensuing car crash, or just put him out of his misery now.
Why do you have to be so mean to him, Frank? I mean, what has he ever done to hurt you?
We could make it look like an accident.
Frank.
Or use the trumpet as a bludgeoning instrument.
Frank! Enough!
Warren, why don't you go out to the back room and clean yourself up and maybe have a bit of time to yourself? Would that be nice?
Okay.
Frank, what have I said about using the trumpet as a bludgeoning instrument?
You're right. Always use the hammer.
Do you think he's going to be okay?
Either way, he's got a job to do. If he's not happy with that, well then, ultimately it's up to him.
Wait, did I just mishear you? Are you really just going to cast him aside like that after a year of us living together? I mean, what about everything we've been through up until now? Everything he's been through?
Amanda, he's a clone. As such, he'll be treated as a second-class citizen. His purpose is all he'll have.
How can you say you still care and act so casual about it?
Ladies, although I do enjoy you two eager beavers catfighting, turn the volume down. My beautiful head's starting to ache and my stomach's injecting these
Why do you
weird
keep
little
injecting that
missiles.
stuff into Frank?
Amanda, I have to give this to him.
Why only him?
It's for his own good.
Oh, so now you care about his well-being?
Amanda, you don't understand what will happen.
Well, why didn't you just tell me then?
Please, Amanda, let her do it. I feel really, really strange.
Frank, what are you doing?
I don't know, you fat sack of impending motherhood! Mind your own meaningless business!
Torenal, what have you done to him?
Saved his life.
The woman's got a point though, Doc. I've got a right to know why you've been injecting that weird stuff into my tasty biceps.
This is all a mistake. I can't handle this. If Warren reacted like that, then how possibly
You listen here, Torenal. I've been honest with you since the very beginning. I've told you about how I feel about you and your stupid corporation. So the fact that you would You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. Otherwise I'm gonna start ripping parts out of you right now. You gotta say. Now, where to start?
I have a keyhole.
What? What?
I have a keyhole.
What do you mean you have a keyhole?
You better start making sense, dog.
Warren is a man, and he has a key. Amanda is a woman, and she has a keyhole. Frank is a man, but he has a keyhole.
Wait, go back. I missed it. What's all this about keyholes and keys?
What is the point in teaching you anything if you don't even remember? Is this ringing bells for any of you? During the year, I gave a series of lectures on sex and the reproductive system. Lectures that Frank slept through and was filled in on later. He was not, however, in natural slumber. I had sedated him.
You did what?
I had to. That way Warren and Amanda could be presented with the facts and you with the reverse. So you wouldn't start to question certain aspects of your character.
We'll get to the point, Torenal. I mean, what's this got to do with any of those keyholes?
The metaphor that I constructed to best explain the process of sexual intercourse is a woman is in possession of a keyhole and a man in possession of a key.
Oh, unlocking babies. I remember the diagram.
Well, turns out Frank here is built in a very different way. His original metrosexual playboy billionaire, Frank Deakins, with an inflated ego and money to burn, was so in love with himself that he thought he'd order an exact replica. Save for one major detail.
A keyhole instead of a key.
Yes. As much as I hate to say it, Frank Deakins literally wants to have sex with himself. So, you jumped up glorified sex twelve. Happy now that you know your purpose?
Yes!
What? Really?
Yes! Imagine it. Me, the pinnacle of all creation, having crazy hot monkey sex with me, the pinnacle of all creation. It's the perfect match. Imagine it, guys. Imagine it.
Okay, well, what are these injections for?
They're a custom-made cocktail of hormones and testosterone to keep Frank on the male side of the scale. Without them, his body would begin to reject itself and he'd be lost to the feminine side, which, unfortunately for us, isn't what the real Frank Deakins is paying for.
Daily testing routine complete. Daily testing routine complete. Please place notes on the day's testing into the supply letterbox in the back room within the next 2-hour period. Then go to bed. We apologize if we made you jump again. Sweet dreams.
So, I guess this is almost it. Tomorrow is the first day of the rest of our lives.
So, what do we do now? Dr. Torenal?
I just need a moment alone.
Is everything all right, Amanda?
Why do you ask?
Well, you haven't spoken about your baby for a while.
And?
Well, you're always talking about your baby, you know, always. Like, always.
Well, can't I talk about something else every once in a while?
What? Seriously? What else do you even know to talk about? Now isn't exactly the best time to start reinventing yourself, Amanda. Talk about something else. Oh, that's a good one.
Why do I have to give it away?
What? What do you mean give it away?
I mean, why would they do this to me? Why would they want to take my baby away? Haven't I earned the right to raise it myself?
Is this what Torenal told you earlier?
Why can't I understand?
Amanda, everything's gonna be fine. I promise.
How can you promise that?
I...
Sorry. I just wanted one last toot for the road.
So, Doc,
Yes, fine.
these injections you've been giving me, do I need to keep doing them for the rest of my life?
Well, it would be the safe option.
What are the other options?
This does bother you, doesn't it?
No. Don't be so pathetic.
There's no point in hiding it. I know you better than you know yourself.
No, listen, this was stupid. Stupid. I should go.
No, wait. There is one other option. Tertiary protocol.
What's the dirty Harry protocol?
This is.
I don't understand.
Each vial contains the memories of the originals of each candidate in the lab. If you choose to drink yours, well, think of it a way of filling in the slate.
So you're saying that I could take on the original Frank Deacon's personality if I could somehow absorb his memories?
It's a relatively untested science. I can vouch for it working, but whether or not it'll bring you peace is another question.
Give it to me.
You're sure?
Damn it, Torenal, I've already made up my mind. Don't make me question that as well. Bottoms up.
Charming.
Tastes like trifle. I hate trifle.
Excellent.
Oh, you're loving this, aren't you?
Just because we've never seen eye to eye doesn't mean I'm not sad to see you go.
No, thanks, Doc. Maybe you're not such a pathetic cucumber after all.
Well, Dr. Torenal, maybe time for one last big group hug. We can all say our goodbyes.
I'm not very good at big goodbyes, Warren. Maybe in the morning?
Sure, night.
Are you going to bed now, Torenal?
I just have some paperwork to finish. No matter. I think what I wanted to say is that there's a part of me that misses you, Lawrence. I don't think I'll ever be given the chance to fully appreciate that. I hope that she makes you feel the way that I want you to feel. Because you're not a raging cretin. I know that that part of me is wrong. And so, now my work is done here, I'm on to another place, where better things await. But now my purpose has been achieved. You know that film you used to talk about? Dumb and Dumber? I've never even heard of it. It just came to me. Loving admirer, Torenal.
No. No, no. No, 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 no. Not the trifle. I hate trifle. You're not my mother. Oh, I wish I'd never been born. Oh, wait, you are my mother. Oh, nice head on. Oh, I swear to God, if Kelly Thomas says one more word, I'm genuinely going to have a bitch fit. Yeah, stick that up in padded bra, yeah? Who the hell is Kelly Thomas? Looks like a grubby little arse pirate had a night of it. What is that? Keep calm, Frank. Maybe it's just that puberty thing that Torenal keeps on talking about. Come on, it's got to be here somewhere. Oh, come on, you malignant dog-turd wrapped in a miserable pile of secrets! And if you think that I, God's gift to all creation, need the help of some puny mongrel like yourself when I'm outside in the real world, then you Doc can keep lying there.
Can't this wait till morning, Frank? Don't we have like another hour of sleep to make the most of?
This is your mandatory 7:15 wake-up call. This is your mandatory 7:15 wake-up call. Would all test subjects please prepare for immediate assimilation into society?
Should I get my watch fixed before we leave here?
Oh, my higher power that might not exist! It's today! Today! Today's the day we become real people!
Weren't you really upset about that yesterday? I didn't have to mention that. Frank, is everything okay?
Of course I'm okay, you inquisitive skid mistress. Mind your own meaningless business. Just because I'm married and you're not.
I'm not married either!
Wait a second. Married? What do you mean married? How long have I been asleep for?
I don't know. I don't know.
Frank, where did that come from?
I can see my wedding day now. Our catering staff made a trifle instead of a cake, and I always said I hated trifle. Wait a minute, I've never even had trifle. Oh, higher power that might not exist. What the hell's happening to me?
Frank, how are you remembering all these things?
We're at the church now, and Maddie Jenkins' baby is crawling in the corner, and Mark's best mate Gareth is sweating it over the best man speech. The old man next to me as I'm walking up there, his breath smells like onions and Brussels sprouts. I think it's my dad.
How are you seeing all this? What's going on?
My dress is a Maggie Saturno designer piece with extended train.
What?
And we're at the altar now. And the priest's comb over is really bothering me for some reason. And Mark's hand comes up to mine. And the priest says, and to you, Mark Philip Jones, take...
Who?
Take
who?
Oh, snap.
Who does he take, Frank? Who does he take?
Take you, Amanda Hughes, to be your lawfully wedded wife.
But aren't I Amanda?
Frank can't be Amanda, he's not Amanda enough.
Frank, why can't you just tell
Enough
me?
with the questions, you!
Can't think of anything to call me?
She did this to me! Wakey, dog! Time to explain why you gave me her memories, because I'm full of questions now!
Frank, how do you expect her to answer you if you keep shaking her like
Quit paying, bosom dog! I'm on to you now, you weak-willed sponge-foot.
I think she's dead!
Shut up, Warren, she can't be dead.
No, Frank, she's dead.
How do you know she's not just sleeping?
Well, when in the last year have you ever even seen Torenal take a nap? No, she's dead, all right. Dead as a dodo. Probably more dead, like a dodo with a terminal illness.
I don't understand. She was fine a few hours ago.
I don't understand it either, but we need to do something about her body.
Warren?
Torenal told me that some animals eat their dead to stop predators from encroaching upon their territory. I assumed it applied to humans as well.
You see, this stuff right here is why I prefer hammers to dogs.
Maybe that's why the dodo sucks so much. They just wouldn't stop eating each other.
Why are we even talking about this? I mean, don't you care that she's just died?
It's darn contagious. I was too busy rubbing lotion into my body to be paying attention in lessons.
Eating is going to take too long. We need to put her body somewhere.
Well, why can't we just leave her there? I mean, isn't it standard practice to just leave bodies where they are so people know how they died?
We need to hide her because someone could walk through that locked door any minute and take us away to our new, exceptionally awful lives. And something tells me that them walking in on us stood around a dead body isn't really going to help things along. Unless, of course, they already hated Torenal, in which case we're in there.
But no, I thought I wanted her dead up till now, and now I'm not so sure. It's strange. I've never even seen a dead body before. It's quite...
I know.
Guys, why are the lights off?
Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Basement lab is now in a state of lockdown. Basement lab is now...
Heavy.
Oh, sorry. You have a pass key. It gets so boring around here. I wasn't quite emotionally ready for your arrival. Access granted. Proceed to sub-basement for assignment completion. Dr. Hunt.
Who's Dr. Hunt then?
Maybe he's the one who's going to take us away?
Oh, all I know is that my pants are a little bit more damp than they were 30 seconds ago.
What is it with you boys and talking about your urine-based accidents?
Well, first of all, you're incorrect in just assuming it's a urine-based accident. And second of all, I'm not quite sure if you've noticed, but it gets a little bit boring around here, Amanda.
What makes you think it's going to be any better when we leave?
When we leave.
Yeah. Why not we?
Sorry, I'll not tell you.
Tell me what?
Well, that's that sorted.
Oh, where'd you put her?
Tell me what, Frank?
Well, I put her in the bin. It was a bit of a struggle to get her arms in, but this bad boy made an excellent plunger.
Well, the bin. Well, at least you did it in a dignified manner.
Frank!
Is, everything all right, guys?
Cool, that was ridiculously loud considering that the door's essentially a curtain.
I think the door's behind it, Frank.
Oh,
How do we open it?
well, just because it's been locked all year doesn't mean that it's locked now. I'll go investigate. Ah! Okay, well, maybe it does mean that, but I'm not normally wrong, so you can understand my mistake.
Oh, Torenal was right. This is the whole predator encroaching on the territory thing coming back to haunt us.
Hello? Who's there?
Do you really think they're going to answer you?
Well, why wouldn't they? And why do you actually care more about this than answering my actually valid questions?
Now's not the best time, Amanda.
Well, when will the best time be, Frank?
No one is here. Leave a message.
Well, that's even more dumber than Amanda's idea. Is anyone still out there, or have they just given up on us bickering?
Go and look.
Really?
Just go. Anything?
Well, you don't know how to open the door. Just stop knocking and let yourself in.
Sorry, force of habit. My dad always told me you could tell a lot about a building by knocking on its walls. You must be the test subjects I'm here to collect. Wow, tough crowd. Where's your supervisor? Is he okay? Bipolar?
I think multipolar might be a better description.
So you can talk! I thought you were a bit without tongues! My name's Dr. Hunt. Pleasure to meet you.
No, you're not. You're Torenal. You should be dead.
Dead?
verifiably confused compatriot is trying to say is, we weren't expecting you of all people to be turning up today.
Why not? My records show that you guys have completed your evaluation year and you're all ready for integration. Where is your supervisor? That explains a lot.
Seriously? You're fine with that?
I mean, I can't say I'm all that pleased to see my own dead face staring back up at me, but it does tell me about what's going on here.
Would you mind filling us in then?
First, I need to check that all of your supervisor's final documents are in order. Brown envelope anywhere? Hey, great trumpet!
Oh, thank you very much, your, colourfulness. Please, the mailing cabinet is right over here.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I forget other people have eyes sometimes. So, yeah, if you need me, just yell Warren, and I'll come bounding in right away.
Thanks, kiddo.
Right, so how do we kill him?
We're not going to kill this one. Not even sure if we killed the last one.
So what do we do?
I don't know. But I loved her trumpet. But a minute, this isn't a trumpet. Then who the hell's that then?
Oh, well, whoever she is, she's clearly hiding something from us.
Ho! I need those documents. They're not in there. Brown envelope, anywhere, anyone?
Oh, yes, no, I thought I'd hold on to it for safekeeping. Well, I don't have any pockets. The guy's got to keep his stuff somewhere.
Do you really want those documents, Dr. Hunt? Would you be willing to trade information for them?
Listen, lady.
Do you or do you not want the documents, Dr. Hunt?
What do you want to know?
Why don't you start by who you really are and why the dead woman in that bin looks exactly like you?
So, a couple of years ago, I was part of this whole experiment. We were investigating the monetizing of the clone process. Part of my research was to make an exact duplicate of myself. Her sole purpose was to teach my kids and look after them while I continued the work that my career demanded. Anyway, the only problem was they could tell it wasn't me. I don't know how, biological connection crap. If I wanted to write the project off as a success, I had to find a way around that. There was really only one solution.
Tertiary protocol.
Yeah, how did you...
It just came to me.
Tertiary protocol dictates that the clone be introduced to their original's memories, kind of grounds their personality in a more solid foundation. In this case, it worked. Too well. She started to think she was me. Kind of distressing for my husband, Florence.
Wait, Lawrence is in the dude in the letter.
What letter?
Oh, keep going, Doc.
Listen, I was given a year off work. Apparently they were going ahead with the process and my expertise was being used in new ways to further production efficiency.
Well,
That's all I know.
well, you must know more. I mean, why is you would have been a bit more weirded out when you looked in that bin.
Listen, she was taken away from me and my family, deemed emotionally unstable. That was all I heard of the project until a couple of days ago when I was given a call and asked to come here and pick you guys up.
So, Torenal was your clone?
Yes. I'm surprised that even you three voids of intellect didn't work that out.
Well, there wasn't really any signs.
What about her name? Torenal?
We just thought it was something weird and foreign, maybe Italian.
Right,
Torenal.
You didn't realize it was an anagram.
Anagram.
Oh,
Anagram.
I love anagrams. Torenal. Later on.
Lean rot?
Lent all.
No altar?
Knoll rat. Oh, I like it.
Okay, fine. So you didn't work out the anagram. There's more. There's this mug that says, I'm a clone.
Well, that said I'm a colon.
A surprisingly positive review of the Michael Bay film, The Island.
Is that the one with the polar bears?
Nah, that's predators.
Clone insurance
I
papers.
just thought that meant they were photocopies.
A printout from a Norwegian article entitled, Help, I'm a clone.
I think we get the point.
There's more. She was wearing a t-shirt that said, Torenal was a clone. How did did you not realise this? Here, keep it. Call it a collectible merchandise or something.
So what were you doing in your year off? I mean, looks like you had quite the holiday. While Torenal was busy working solidly for a whole year.
Listen, I know you guys don't like to hear this, but I'm just here to finish the job so I can get back to my actual duties. I'd appreciate it if you cooperated and, made this whole thing as easy as possible. You can start by giving me that envelope.
Oh, how can a miniature human kick so hard?
Come on, Amanda, let's sit you down on the...
We don't have time for
Let
this!
him go, Doc.
You can't talk to me like that. I'm in charge here.
This is our lab, and as long as you're here, you'll play by our rules, whether you like it or not. We still have the envelope, so you'll just have to wait. So, who was this Lawrence fella I keep on hearing about?
Why do you care?
Don't really know. Going for a pretty odd patch at the moment. Well, I know it's a touchy subject, but maybe we can do a little team building exercise like me and Torenal invented when she wasn't as dead. Basically, I tell you something about me, and then you tell me something about you. So I go, hello, my name's Frank.
Hi, Frank.
And I have the genitals of a female. Now it's your turn.
He left me.
No.
Took the house, the kids, the hammers, everything.
What about the dogs?
Yeah, have a dog.
Oh, good. Well, I hate dogs.
So, I thought I'd treat myself to a well-deserved holiday and...
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Stupid cretin. Didn't appreciate anything. Not even the barge I named after him.
Men.
Oh my, higher power that might not exist. Oh, on the floor, Amanda?
Where did that come from?
Oh, go grab a mop. Oh, at least when I pee myself, I make it subtle.
So, these phone calls, hon, what do they actually tell you about us?
Oh, the usual. Why you here, where you going,
That's interesting. 'Cause that's more than we were permitted to know until a few hours ago.
Listen, I get it. Torenal was as pissed about the job as I would have been. At least I would have been straight with you from the start.
On the contrary, you've only told us because we made you. You and Torenal may look similar, but altogether you're nothing alike. She had her priorities, maybe even a sense of honour. She did her job, even if she didn't like it.
So what was I meant to do? Tell the bigwigs I didn't want a holiday? I was being paid for a year to sit by the beach and do absolutely nothing. I'm committed. No one is that committed.
So you used her, like some common washing machine.
Come on, Amanda, put a bit of effort in. It's just a small puddle. I mean, do it like a washing machine would do it.
Can't you do this for me?
You used to make me clean up my own pee. Fine, give it here. No. Really done a number on this floor, I tell you. Oh, and now you're pooing yourself too. Fantastic. I guess that'll be my job to clean up as well. Then Warren does this.
Will you stop being such a ponce and help me? Oh!
Oh my God! Oh, that's a much better word for it. Pregnancy, baby. Ah!
Everything dandy over there?
Yes, everything's just dandy, Dr. Hunt. Everything. Oh, Doctor. So, you're a Doc Hunt. Well, gotta be careful how I say that. Yeah. So, I think Amanda's having the baby. Amanda, just to be sure, you are having the baby, right?
Isn't it obvious?
Yes, it's obvious. So, if you're not too busy playing tiddlywinks or whatever you're doing over here, and you might want to come have the baby.
I'm really not that kind of doctor.
You must have some kind of idea.
No, sorry.
Oh, fine, just take the envelope, please, just help us.
I can't.
Frank, you have woman parts. You want to maybe have a stab at it?
Unfortunately, Warren, it doesn't work that way. And for future reference, I'd advise against using the terms woman parts and stab at it in the same sentence if you want to be taken at all seriously.
That means, look at me, Frank. I can't deliver a baby.
I hate to say this, Warren, but you can do it. Me and Dr. Hunt have some things to discuss, and you'll just have to take care of her.
Oh. Ah.
Go on, Warren. She needs you.
Okay, Frank.
Now, here's the thing, hun. You seem to just take life for granted sometimes. I mean, you don't seem to appreciate the little things in life because, and this is just an assumption, but you do well to hear it out, you've had a pretty easy life of it so far. I mean, sure, Lawrence left you, and I mean, sure, a clone actually tried to steal your identity, but maybe that's just because you weren't worthy for that sort of life. Maybe you just weren't a good enough person.
What's this? Huh. Must be that letter Warren was talking about.
Well?
Well?
Come on, hun. You can't possibly say that letter means nothing to you.
She's dead. Boo-hoo. I'm not. I was here first. I'm not getting hung up on her.
Torenal cared for him far more than you ever will. I mean, that's why he left you in the first place. You never appreciated anything he did. You blew it. And don't pretend that you're not upset, because I can tell. You don't need woman's intuition for that.
You know, when they told me that douchebag Frank Deacons was getting a clone made, I thought he'd be, you know, a douchebag.
Yeah, well, this lab puts a certain perspective on things.
I've noticed.
Look, I know why you didn't want to deliver that baby. And I know why you can't look Amanda in the eyes, knowing what's going to happen to her. And don't pretend that you don't know. The only good thing about me having the real Amanda Jones's memories is that she doesn't have to know her fate. So, Torenal, as someone who's just avoided... Wait a minute, you're Hunt. You're Hunt, of course. Hunt. As someone who's just avoided all of their responsibilities throughout their life, just don't let them kill her.
Who said anything about them?
What's that?
We couldn't just deactivate her like we did with Torenal. We had to make sure the baby was safely delivered first. I wouldn't worry. The injection's quick and relatively painless.
Worried? Worried? What worried? She doesn't have to die!
Amanda Jones wanted a surrogate mother. That's all she is.
Yeah, but imagine what the real Amanda's going to be like if she can be asked to go through the bleeding pregnancy. I mean, you of all people should know how that's like.
It's my job. We all have to do our job in the end.
No. No. No! No! We have a choice. We have a choice. I don't want to be a sex toy anymore. And I'm pretty sure that Warren doesn't want to be a parrot. And I'm pretty sure that Amanda doesn't want to be dead. Do you want to be a murderer?
She's going to die, Frank. So you and Warren had best stay out of my way.
Can you see yet?
I don't even know.
I don't have the slightest idea.
Look, Amanda, this is pretty heavy stuff. I'm getting kind of scared here.
Well, how do you think I feel?
Amanda.
Ah!
Amanda. Look. I know this is all a little bit crazy. I know that we're a little bit crazy, but at least we're sane enough to see it. And something tells me that this baby will see that too. So, in that respect, I think we'll be the perfect parents.
What? We?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to, that is.
Oh! Well, what if they make me give it away?
Look, Amanda, look at me. You're the mother to this child. You've earned it. You've earned this child, and well, when it learns to speak, I can be there to answer its questions.
You do that for me?
Of course.
What if this is just one of your mood swings? How do I really know this is you?
Amanda, look at me. I promise you, I promise you that I will protect you and your baby. I want this to be my purpose. And no matter what mood I'm in, that will always be true. So, let's give this one last push for the road, okay?
Oh!
Into it.
I'm glad I have you, Warren.
Was that a question?
What do you think?
Thank you very much for coming to the last show. It's been quite a long experience for me. I sort of started working on this project about 6 months ago, and sorry, I'm still a character. It's been a really good experience for everyone. I think we've all had a really good time. So anyway, so I'd really like to thank all the people who have been involved along the way. Obviously, there's all the special thanks in the program that you probably read. So. But I'd especially like to thank Josh Brushett, who's done the producing and the front of house for us tonight. I'd like to thank Natalie up in the lighting box for doing the lighting, and David, who was also doing the sound, and David, who was also directing the play. So can we have a round of applause for those guys? And, a nice round of applause for my wonderful co-stars, because they made this a really fun experience for me, and it's been a pleasure working with you. So thanks for coming.